Super stealth stuff. It's like
I feel
criminal
like
mastermind.
I feel like you were the kind of kid that TP'd a lot of places.
I never did.
You didn't?
No.
You didn't do it at all. You were a good kid.
Yeah.
Oh, see,
till about high school.
maybe I did.
And
or
then I had
didn't.
better things to do. Better illegal things
Right,
to do.
yeah. I may or may not have done that before, but I always got away with it just
Yeah.
because I looked like the good kid.
People get really upset about that.
Yes, they do.
They don't like it.
Yes, they do.
Time consuming.
Statute of limitations on that one. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Between the Streams. This is our weekly roundtable podcast. Well, not roundtable. I guess it's just you and I. So.
It's roundish.
And there's no roundness here at all.
We got a producer, so it's almost
See,
round.
we take 1 week off, and now I've
You're
already
lost.
forgotten how this show even
Totally
works.
lost.
This is Between the Streams, our weekly entertainment podcast, where we talk about everything going on in the world of entertainment. I'm Greg Nibbler.
I'm Ryan Juanita.
And we've got a lot of stuff to get to today. We're going to be talking about the Stranger Things Season 2 that came out. We've got spoiler-free things I want to discuss.
Do you think that we could say that Stranger Things have happened?
Oh, God. Yeah, we're a little rough. We took a week off.
No, I like stupid jokes. They're the best.
We're going to talk about that. We've got...
It premiered. That's the thing.
It did. It did.
Okay.
It did indeed.
In case you didn't catch that.
When you have to explain it, it does.
That's how you know it's a great joke.
That's how you know.
It's very complicated.
So
That's what makes great jokes.
We're going to talk about some new things in superhero movies. We've got some new trailers out. We've got some, of course, remakes and that we're going to be talking about as well. But we want to start off with this. Since Halloween, this is kind of the weekend for Halloween. It's actually next week, but this is the weekend everybody's celebrating. And I want to talk about our article that we put up. That's up here at digitaltrends.com about the best Halloween TV episodes ever. And we were discussing this. I think they did a good job. I think the article's a good job.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some missing.
Well, it's
pieces
hard to
this.
get them all. You're like trying to think of the best ones. You're searching around. You're looking through your catalog. You're looking through your Netflix queue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think we got a really, really solid list. We were just talking about my favorite, Greg Pikitis.
Greg Pikitis, which is the Parks and
Leslie's nemesis on Parks and Rec, who is a criminal mastermind. And yeah, but there's so many good ones. Actually, I like all the South Parks a lot, and Korn's Groovy Pirate Mystery is amazing because Korn becomes Scooby-Doo, the Scooby-Doo team.
Yes,
which is insane.
That is pretty fantastic. I mean, South Park always knocks it out.
And Korn's like, "Come on, gang, we can do this."
I'm a little confused on this list as far as the ranking of it. You know, I mean,
There's no ranking.
Well, I mean,
there's just numbers. That's not
they're
ranked.
just okay. So it's not actually ranked.
Yeah.
Okay.
She always puts the numbers in. I don't know why.
Okay, all
but
right.
yeah, they're not
so
ranked.
it's not number 1 through.
No.
Okay. But we've got a lot of different ones on here, and just want to bring up a couple of them. I mean, Friends, the one with the Halloween party. I'll be honest, I don't remember the Friends one that well.
I didn't either. I watched it. It's okay. It's not bad.
It's all right.
If you like Friends.
We're taking a look here, too, and if you have your favorite, feel free to drop those there into the live chat, either on YouTube or Facebook, as we're broadcasting right now. And
I mean, we couldn't just say all of the Simpsons episodes and just put that on a page.
That's the problem.
That wouldn't have made a good article.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and
Need some variety.
You do need some variety. And so on this list, we've got Parks and Rec. You know, the Halloween Surprise is one on here. Is this the one with Greg Pikitis?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one with Greg Pikitis.
It's actually called Greg Pikitis. I switched them out. That's what I was telling you earlier.
Okay, gotcha.
You don't listen to me, but it's fine.
Sure.
It's fine.
Yeah. Who?
No, it's fine.
All right, so The Office Halloween one, that was a great one. Community's Epidemiology, that was a really good Halloween
all
episode.
of the Community special episodes are, like, unbelievable.
Absolutely.
The paintball episodes, amazing.
I'm taking a look here. Rick Bryant says, Devil Killer Doll in a Suitcase, Night Gallery. I don't know what you just said to me or whether you just admitted to something that you've done.
Yeah, that sounds like an accusation.
That sounds like a confession.
He knows what you did, Greg.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them out there, and everybody tries to do them. There's a lot of really bad ones, I think, that I feel like have happened as well.
It's surprising because almost, you don't really think of it this way, but almost all of them are comedies.
Yeah.
Like, dramas don't really do Halloween episodes.
Our friend Dan says Boy Meets World's Halloween episode was one of my favorites.
I saw that on a few lists.
Yeah, Boy Meets World. What
I don't know
happened
about
that one? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know
All right.
about that.
Ryan's going to disagree with that
Maybe
one.
when you were a kid.
One of the main ones I that's one of my favorites ever that was not on this list
is
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and their Halloween episode, Who Got D Pregnant, which
just very appropriate for the kids. It is
seriously one of my favorite ones. They have the bar has a Halloween party. If you watch It's Always Sunny, you're probably familiar with this, but yeah, the bar has a Halloween party and they all have different memories of what happened at the party because they're all
completely different memories.
Completely different recollections of what happened. I think that one should have been on the list. It's a great Halloween episode.
It could have been
maybe not for the kids.
I think we'll put it on for next year.
Not one for the kids.
We'll put her on next year.
Okay, so we'll make that one in there. Well, if you have a favorite Halloween TV episode, go ahead and drop yours there on Facebook and YouTube. And you can take a look at the list. It's at digitaltrends.com as well. So we've got them all ranked. Or not ranked, not ranked. It's so hard for me. I just go to thinking the ranked. How I Met Your Mother, Slutty Pumpkin Returns, and I'm not familiar with that one. Apparently Katie Holmes is involved in that. Yeah, well, all right. We got a lot of Halloween episodes to go through.
The ladies like that one.
The ladies like that one. So check those all out. Oh, the other one, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Great Halloween episode.
It's a really good one. You don't really think of it as Halloween because it's just
Larry
California
Larry.
And it's like really nice out, but it's good.
Yeah, Larry not wanting to give the candy out, and then they get the pranks. Indeed. And again, Ryan claims he has never pranked a house. So
I didn't say I'd never pranked a house. I just said I've never toilet papered a house.
You just slyly tried to find a way out of it. Okay, I see how you did it. So all of that again is at digitaltrends.com. Take a look at this. Something else that's out today that we need to discuss, and I have not watched any of it, and we are not going to give any spoilers here
because we don't have it.
Because we don't have any, but we're going to talk about some theories. Stranger Things season 2 finally here. I feel like it's been years since the first one came out. It hasn't really been that long.
No.
And it's one solid promotion for Stranger Things season 2.
Nobody knew how big that was. I mean,
yeah.
Like even our roundup for Stranger Things season 2 like led the site for a ridiculous amount of time.
I mean,
people love this show.
Absolutely. And I'm one of the people too. I am very excited to start watching this. I'll probably watch it. How many episodes are you going to watch this weekend?
You know, I told you, my wife can't get through like more than 3. She's down for the count, but maybe I'll just watch ahead. It's hard to say.
Sneak off and watch some.
But I always feel terrible after I watch more than like 5 of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling.
I'm wasting too much time.
What has happened to me?
Yeah, I've got to move.
Is the outside still there?
Am I in the upside down?
Jim Gaffigan was like doing a comedy routine about this. When you've stayed inside all day, the air moves out here and everything.
Well, so Stranger Things season 2. One of the things that we do have up on the website right now are a bunch of the different fan and conspiracy theories that are out there about it. And I did want to go over some of these. And I feel like it's a good time to do it right before we actually watch it.
Right.
To discuss these things. One of the big ones is what is the monster from the trailers. If you've seen the trailer, the monster is like 1,000 times bigger than last time.
And the more the trailers came out, the more it seemed to be like ever present in a lot of the scenes. Like the monster's just there.
It's just like always there.
Yeah.
It looks like it's in the upside down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always walking around the city.
Or it's breaking out of the upside down or something.
Something like that. And there's some different theories, about what it is, whether it's somebody said it looks like this was on our side, I believe, that it looks like a xenomorph impregnated a giant spider. That is kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
It doesn't look pleasant.
No.
Whatever's going on. And apparently it also does say Will's name when it's walking around. And I hadn't caught that, but this is what we have written up. That
Will is
Will's
the key.
Name.
We know Will is like the key to something.
Something's off with Will. I'm not too sure about Will.
You mean the part where he was like puking up slugs and moving in and out of dimensions in the bathroom at the end of last season?
Yeah, that's not good.
That ought to do it.
I don't trust him. I feel there's something off about him. And
who knows if it's really him?
Well, see, there we go.
Back.
And that's one of the other theories is Will Byers the villain. Could he be the villain in this one?
Wow, like the whole time?
Yeah.
Like he was just leading
surprise.
those friends on? Oh my gosh, yeah.
That he's like the evil one.
An evil being. Yeah. That's a good one.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that theory.
Well, they have a whole Bible, so this is not just like off the top of their head. What if Will's the villain? Like they plotted this whole thing out. So.
Yeah, it's all very methodically listed out. The other one is what is the upside down, and that is kind of one of the main questions. Like, what the hell is it? Is it just a made up place? Is it a figment of somebody's imagination? Have they manifested it?
Yeah, you're saying here that some believe the upside down is only exists in the mind of 11.
Yeah.
Like she's creating it with her
guess.
power?
Yeah. That kind of goes too deep.
I don't think so.
I don't like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say
I mean, I think the one of the theories is that the kids were manifesting it because they were playing the game and it was happening as they were playing the game.
Okay, so the kids
It's kind of like
powers.
that movie Colossus where she gets all drunk and there's a huge monster that she controls in Korea.
Oh, yes, you're right. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but it looks really funny.
Yeah, that does look good.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway. But yeah, that could be that they're manifesting it. There's a lot of different theories there.
Yeah. The other one was Hopper's daughter, an experiment. I don't even really know what to go in on that one. I mean, that's possible, I guess.
And you also have, could Barb be important?
This is the most important thing. Barb. Barb is who I want to be the ultimate villain. Like, I want them to bring Barb back around so badly.
No, they're not going to do that.
I want the monster to be like, a morphed version of Barb. Like, it turns around and it's Barb's face. Like,
Barb is just angry.
You forgot
you
me.
left me.
Yeah. Yes.
Like
clearly
something from The Thing where it's like the half creature, half man.
Absolutely.
That's messed up.
Probably the best thing that could happen.
Yeah.
So these are some of the different theories that are out there that we'll all get answers to.
Yeah, so keep them
very
coming.
soon.
Let's hear we want to hear your theories.
Absolutely. Yeah, so let us know what your theories are. And, no spoilers, because I know some people could watch it. A few people who, maybe stayed up until midnight last night or didn't go to work today.
Well, yeah, you'd have to stay up until midnight and then stay
power
up all
through.
night. Yeah.
You could probably have gotten through it by now.
Yeah. If you don't have
really
a job.
Powered through. There's somebody out there that did that.
I have
that
unemployment, so
all
I'm
through, but stayed up all night long and powered through all of them.
Absolutely.
Just
There's
so they could tell
probably
everybody.
a few thousand people at least that did that.
There probably are. All right. Well, should we get to the box office
Yes.
preview and talk about
If
this?
we must.
So this is another part of what we do here on the show. Of course, we'll give you a preview of what's at the box office, and then we'll get into some other things. We've got some Black Panther news and some Justice League news, things to talk about with that. But at the box office this weekend, not a huge weekend, although you do get a horror movie is out appropriately, and it's Jigsaw. Jigsaw is the 8th movie in the Saw franchise. The 8th movie in the franchise.
Yeah.
And I'm just... I'll admit, I think I watched the first Saw. I'm not really a Saw guy. It does bother me. So I guess they're doing their job. It makes me unnerved.
Pretty messed up. Yeah, even the trailers here. It's not getting very good reviews, but I think if you've seen any of these movies, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be just that.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's a Saw that bad things are going to happen to people, and
didn't the main guy
Let's
die?
play a game. Yeah, and that's I guess.
And are they going backwards?
So that's the mystery of this one.
Okay.
If you do follow along with them, it's they're chasing around a new Jigsaw killer, and it's like, is it him back from the dead, or is it somebody trying to, recreate him? I don't know.
Right.
That's just what it is. So Jigsaw, you can go check that out. Also, I'm just mentioning this one because it does have a lot of stars, and this is probably the one I've seen the most quote Oscar buzz posts about. And that's what they say on the post. That's the reason I'm saying that.
Thank you for your service.
I feel embarrassed saying that. Yeah. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. This is definitely Oscar bait.
Miles Teller starring in it. Haley Bennett. Amy Schumer, which I didn't realize is in it. So it's not a comedy. It is about a group of U.S. soldiers returning from Iraq and trying to integrate back into civilian life. So I feel like it, based on the trailer, it looks like it goes back and forth between what happened in Iraq and to their lives here.
Heartwarming. There's going to be a lot of levity, a lot of comedy going on. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of comedy. A real laugh riot.
Our reviewer was like, yeah, I want to see it, but it's always hard to go to those movies. Like, it's going to be worth it in the end, but it's hard to get yourself to the movie.
Do I want to walk away and be sad for the rest of the day?
I know. That's why it's so hard to watch Oscar movies.
It is.
The nominations, you're like, I've seen 3 of them.
Yeah. Like whatever that one that Casey Affleck was in last year. I'm like, I don't really
which is supposed to be
that.
like the most depressing one ever. Yeah.
Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Another one out this weekend that I'm excited about, but it's not getting very good reviews.
Don't be excited.
Is Suburbicon.
Don't be excited.
Only because it's written by the Coen brothers. So it's the newest Coen brothers
it's
movie.
written by the Coen brothers. It has George Clooney directing. Has great pedigree. But we heard bad things coming out of the festival from where it debuted, and it's just getting destroyed.
Pretty bad
and more to the
reviews.
point, our reviewer Rick Marshall, who I trust his opinion, said it was just a freaking mess. And everything
Really?
that you think you're seeing on the trailer, you're not seeing.
Okay.
Like, it's really they set it up. They set you up for a fall.
Dang,
you're
that
not
sucks.
going to get what you think you're going to get, basically.
All right.
Which is too bad.
That is too bad.
Matt Damon, I mean, you just would think that there's no way this could fail. I love almost everything
Matt
the Coen
Damon,
brothers
George
have done.
Clooney, Julianne Moore's in it, Oscar
Yeah.
Isaac's in it. I mean,
It's like
you would think that
a
this
recipe
would be a
for
real,
success, and somehow
and somehow
It's
they
rough.
find a way to
Rough
make
deal.
it not. Okay. Well, that is one of the ones out that you can go see.
But you
Suburbicon.
know what I would recommend is just go back a week. Maybe it was 2, but Happy Death Day, I'm sure, is still in theaters, and I haven't seen it yet. And it's probably stupid, but it seems like a really fun Halloween movie.
Yeah.
She wakes. It's Groundhog Day with murder.
Yes.
She wakes up every day in the same day and gets murdered at the end of the day, and she can't figure out how to get out of it.
So that one is still out there. You can go check that out.
I think that would be the fun one to go see if
That
you're looking
probably
for
would
some
be.
horror.
It sounds like way more fun than Jigsaw.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just This sounds depressing.
Yeah.
Let's see. You want to say hi to George on YouTube. And again, keep your comments coming in if you're on Facebook or YouTube. Let us know what you think about any of these, or if you do have Stranger Things theories or your favorite Halloween TV episode. We'll go back to those as well. We did get some more news about superhero movies over the last couple weeks. This one, I just wanted to bring this up because it's kind of surprising me. Justice League isn't out until November 17th, but it's already projected that they're, and how they do these projections, I don't really quite understand. But scientists say it's projected to make $110 million on opening weekend.
I think that's exactly what Batman made.
Is it?
And I've been saying from the beginning, we've said it on the show, that this looks like a less dour Batman versus Superman. It
does.
Still looks like it's going to be messy.
Yeah.
I'm sure the dialogue is not going to be tip-top.
Yeah.
But if you like that Batman versus Superman thing, but you thought it was too dark, I'm guessing Justice League is going to be your jam.
Going to be the one you want to go to.
What I don't like about it, there's a lot of things that I don't like. I mean, I haven't seen it, but from based on the trailers, is again like all the very, very hard tones. Like it's super red and it's super blue. Like even just the coloring.
And that, it makes me feel like they're doing 5 different movies and smashing them all into
I know.
Like and you're getting a little Flash movie, a Cyborg movie,
I just feel confused and dizzied by it.
Yeah.
And that's what happened at the end of Batman vs. Superman. I actually enjoyed the first hour of that. But the dialogue kept getting worse, and the third act was so freaking messy. I don't even remember what happened. It was like some monster or something.
Yeah,
it was
monster
just
was really
whiz bang, blue fireworks, and that's the problem with these movies, in my opinion. But
yeah,
I realize it's kind of
Martha. My mom's name is Martha too.
No, I won't kill you.
We are friends now.
I realize it's too late to say that I'm not going to have prejudgments, but I will go in hoping it's good.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, one I am definitely excited about is Black Panther, which Black Panther's not out for a while, but since we did take the week off last week, there was a new trailer, and I wanted to play some of that just because it's looking fantastic.
It's really neat looking.
It is really neat looking, yeah. I mean, obviously, with the futuristic country that they live in is supposed to be highly advanced,
right.
Where Wakanda with their technology, and they really try to showcase that, I feel like, in this trailer. Showing what goes on with that, and it looks like this is going to be a really fun movie.
It does. It looks like, speaking of Justice League, there's a lot going on in this trailer.
There's a lot going
as
on.
Well.
There is.
But yeah, it always, to me, looks a little bit less messy.
It's focused on one character. I'm sure there'll be cameos of other superheroes in it, but at least it's one character.
Yeah.
Not 5 different
Well, apparently
movies.
there's kind of 2 Black Panthers. I didn't really realize that, because Michael B. Jordan's character looks like sort of an antithesis of it, sort of like a Venom style character.
His character, and I apologize, I can't remember this character's name, Eric Killmonger.
Right.
That's a solid villain name, I feel like. Killmonger.
Yep, that spells it up for you.
Yeah.
Comic books.
Yep, not going to be a superhero.
Not exactly subtle.
With the name Killmonger.
That's good.
There's that. We also did get a release date for The Punisher, which had been, they were kind of, I think, toying with the idea of pushing it back, but now we do have a release date.
Yes.
It's November 17th. We also got another trailer. It is very violent, and which is exactly what you would expect from The Punisher.
Yeah.
So The Punisher coming out November 17th. I will definitely watch that when it comes on to Netflix.
Yeah, even just the shots on that look pretty cool. It looks like they spent a little bit of money on it.
They did, absolutely. So that's another exciting one that's coming out. And then, of course, next week, we'll talk more about Thor Ragnarok and get into that.
I'm so excited for Thor.
Me too. I am way
I
excited.
really hope it doesn't disappoint me, because it's so weird that there's a chance it could be. Do not disappoint me. It looks so weird. There's a chance they could have just gone off the deep end, but I'm really hoping they strike a nice balance and it's just as fun as it looks.
It looks like it's fun, so hopefully, that's what we'll get. A couple of trailers, other trailers that did come out, and I just wanted to bring this one up because, in case you don't know, we filmed this show out of Portland, Oregon, where one of our most famous people who's ever lived here is Tonya Harding.
I think I knew that.
And no, she's actually from Vancouver, I think. Across the water.
Not technically.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first moved to Portland, I knew enough people who had been here long enough who were like, oh yeah, no, I knew Tonya from this, or she used to work at Sewickley's, or she was a bartender apparently. So Tonya Harding,
like after the situation.
Yeah. And so Tonya Harding, there is a movie coming out about her. It's December 8th. It's actually sooner than you would think. So it's starring Margot Robbie. We got a trailer of it, which Margot Robbie, I mean, look, I'm not going to say anything bad, but I mean, Tonya Harding,
not
Margot Robbie.
Quite Margot Robbie.
Like
but you can kind of see it. I mean,
and that's the thing.
It's
she
the
does,
Hollywood thing,
Yeah, obviously there's some prosthetics that are involved, but she she really kind of morphed into Tonya Harding.
You're right. Yeah, I don't know what they used, what the makeup they used, but it looks a lot like her.
It
the
really
hair,
does.
I think, is a big part of it.
Yeah.
It's that sort of bangs,
The claw bangs.
The Scotty bangs or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so the trailer came out for
do people know what happened? Do they know this thing?
Maybe if you don't. Tonya Harding, obviously an Olympic skater. There's the whole thing that happened. Her husband,
her boyfriend,
hired someone to club her competitor, which was Nancy Kerrigan, leading up to the Olympics. You can
Nancy
easily
Kerrigan,
Google the
for
rest
those
of
who
it,
weren't
but-
around, even if you know the story, but for those who weren't around at the time, Nancy Kerrigan was freaking America's sweetheart. Everybody loved her. And even though she didn't get the gold, she got the silver, so everybody still loved her.
Everybody loved her.
Anybody else, it would have been like, oh, she didn't get gold, it's still okay. But even though she just got the silver, everybody loved her because she came back from this whole situation. I think that was part of it.
And
But
Tonya Harding
it
was like your
shocking
trashy cousin.
and nobody loved Tonya Harding, but she was like a great skater too. It's such a drama.
Yeah.
Such a drama story.
Yeah, I mean, I remember all of that vividly, again, just because Tonya Harding was from here, so it was a big deal.
Right.
If you were in the Northwest, just with all of that going on. So I'm excited to see it.
It should be fun. And they're pinning it as a dark comedy, which is also really interesting.
That is, yeah. A lot of lives were ruined through that, but we'll see how it... I suppose you could probably spin it into that way.
I think the lives that got ruined needed to be ruined.
For a lot of them, yeah. So there's a lot of people in it. So let's see. Oh, Bobby Cannavale is in it. McKenna Grace,
he's great.
Julianne Nicholson. Yeah, so it should be fun. That's coming out December 8th. That will be with that one. Some other trailers we got to see from Netflix. Upcoming series. And this one looks also really dark. It's called Godless. It was shocking with a name like Godless that it would seem dark. It's a series coming out on a movie coming out on November 22nd on YouTube and Sorry, I'm screwing all this up. I'm reading this. Again, we take 1 week off, and I've already completely screwed this up. It's coming out on Netflix, November 22nd. Godless, the movie. There we go. It's starring Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels in there.
Jeff Daniels is in there. Kim Coates. Some other names that you might recognize. Sam Waterston is in this. Sam Waterston, America's most trusted voice. And so you've got all of them in there, and it's basically...
I think America's most trusted voice is actually the Allstate guy, which I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, yeah, it could be Allstate guy. Yeah,
he also does the Air Force or Navy. Yeah, something like that.
You're right. That's pretty good.
You're in good hands.
Yeah. Okay, you may have me right there. So Godless, it stars Jeff Daniels as Frank Griffin, who's a notorious outlaw who finds himself hunting down his former protege when the latter betrays the gang and Frank's trust. Essentially, what it seems to me to be is it's Frank's gang and then his protege's gang, and then they're terrorizing this town.
Gritty Western.
Yeah. And terrorizing the townspeople. It looks like it's going to be a fun movie. It looks like it's going to be, a lot of Dennis Haysbert. Is that his name? Apparently, that's the guy's name, the voice that we need.
Oh, Dennis Haysbert.
So there we go. Thank you.
In good
Thank
hands
you for coming through with
that.
So anyway, Godless, November 22nd. I'm excited to watch that. I will definitely check that one out. Now, this next one we got a trailer for is also...
I think it's going to be awesome.
See, and I don't know. December 22nd is when this comes out. We've talked about it before on this show, and I still feel like there's a lot of people that have no idea what this is, though. And it's the movie Bright.
No.
And it's...
Is it a series? I thought it was a series.
No.
Yeah, you're right. It's a movie.
Okay, yeah. I was right. So it's a movie called Bright. It's starring Will Smith.
And more importantly, Joel Edgerton.
Joel Edgerton.
Great.
He is great. And it's going to be on Netflix. And director-writer David Ayer of Suicide Squad is bringing this one out. And here's the thing, though. It's set in an alternate present day, an alternate universe present day, where elves and orcs and fairies and pixies and all these other creatures have always existed, and they coexist with humans. And this is a buddy cop drama starring Will Smith and an orc. Joel
Edgerton plays the orc.
Yeah. So
it's weird, and then there's also like a magic wand at the heart of this, which apparently is very rare. But like they find one, and then all this stuff goes down. Yeah, I think it looks really cool, and what I like most about it is it's different.
Yeah,
and there's just not a lot of different out there. It could turn into a train wreck, but I don't know. It looks really interesting to me. It's got a lot of. They use as far as we've seen in the trailers, they use the orcs and everything as sort of a downtrodden race.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like race issues with it that they're going to bring up in an interesting way, I think, and I think that's important to do right now. Art is one of the few ways you can do that. Well, I think right now.
I mean, and you're right.
And
maybe
so
this will work.
I think it could be really interesting. It could also just. explode and
Completely
bomb.
bomb.
But yeah, I'm kind of excited for it.
Well, there we go. That is that's going to be out on December 22nd. You can check out the new trailer too. That's also available for Bright. I'm sure Netflix is going to push this one like crazy.
Yeah.
On advertising.
You'll know about it soon enough.
They paid $90 million.
Just
for the
$90
rights.
mil.
So you're going to see a lot of Bright whether you like it or not.
Yep.
All right, let's get on to a couple of reboot things here, and then at the end I'm gonna give a spoiler-free review of a series I think you should check out this weekend. As always, a lot of reboots. This is not necessarily a reboot, but a different version of The Dark Tower. So The Dark Tower, if you went and saw the movie, I have not seen it yet because I'm just afraid of the disappointment. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna watch
it.
I'm gonna watch it, but I'm a little fearful of watching it. Well, apparently they are, it sounds like, are gonna go ahead with a television series that's going to be separate from the movie.
Yep.
So it owns its own universe. And Stephen King was talking about it, saying that it's obviously going to be more expansive. They'll have more time to tell the stories.
Well, for those who don't know, the whole idea was they were going to roll out a movie, and then they were going to roll out a series, and the two were going to combine in some kind of weird, overriding universe. And then what happened was the movie just was terrible.
Yeah.
And so now they have to start from scratch, but they still have the series going, so they decided to do like a rebooted series.
Yeah.
Yeah, and King's talking about it. That always makes sense. Every time we hear about this, when they try to make something that is extremely violent into a PG-13 movie,
right,
it never works right.
No.
And that's what's cool about movies like Deadpool and Logan, which give you what you're supposed to see. They just go for it. And we've seen now that can be very successful. Just because you're cutting out one audience doesn't mean you can't be successful. I mean, Deadpool was one of the most, at the time, it was the most successful rated R movie of all time.
Yeah, it was. I think the only one
as a comic book
Logan
movie
may have passed it up. That may be
I think Deadpool had it, but I'm not sure how that all came out in the It.
Probably.
I think It now is, but yeah. But so that's the idea, and I think this is a good idea because The Dark Tower is so much a part of people's lives. They're so into it that to just go out with a crappy movie and say, okay, we're canceling the series too, I think that would have been rough. So I'm kind of hoping that they can recover it because there's so much to that storyline. There's no way you could outline it all in a movie anyway. And I think that was a lot of us were worried about that.
Yeah.
And lo and behold.
Apparently they were, those worries were validated.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, hopefully they can do this right, the Dark Tower TV series. There's no word on when, it's going to come out or anything. It's just Stephen King talking about it. So hopefully...
But they still do have plans for the series. That's what we do know.
That's the most important thing. And they're actually speculating 2018, so it may be sooner than later that we get to see this.
For all we know, they're working on production.
But maybe not necessarily. There's a Lego man.
So we have a Lego man here in the office today, and he is horrifying.
He's absolutely horrifying.
It is like a 7-foot-tall Lego man with this big, dead-eyed head.
I know that you're...
That's the scariest costume I've seen in years.
That is really terrifying, and I wish I could show it to you right now, but probably it's better that we don't.
Yeah.
If you're watching
that will
live,
give you nightmares.
If you're listening, just imagine a 6-foot-tallish Lego person
monstrous
walking around.
Lego man.
Yeah, that's
with dead eyes.
It's gonna haunt my dreams tonight. So thanks for that. We do have
just waving at us in a psychopathic way.
Really horrifying.
Oh, it threw me off track. Okay, back to the show.
Back to the show. All right, just a few things left here as we're wrapping up today's show. We got a couple more things to talk about. I did grab this right beforehand. If you talk about remakes or continuing on a series, apparently there are talks about a Lethal Weapon 5. Lethal Weapon 5. I forgot there were 4 of them, I'll be honest. Lethal Weapon 5.
Yeah, there was a 4th, and I believe Chris Rock was in it.
I don't even
It wasn't that unwatchable.
Okay.
It's better than 3, put it that way.
Well, there's the last one was released in 1998. So this one is Warner Brothers is in talks about bringing it back. And I'm assuming it would be with Glover and Mel Gibson, Danny Glover and Mel Gibson.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
So
they're hearing that they're getting the band back together. And, the irony here is that Glover was too old for this shite.
Yeah.
In the first movie. In the first movie, not
Yeah.
even 20 years ago. In the very first movie in the 80s.
Yeah, I'm too old for this.
He was too old in the first movie.
Well, Lethal Weapon 5.
He can't say that line anymore. It's just, it holds no currency.
No. Well, I mean, what are they going to do?
I don't know. They got to both be retired. It's got to be like some young guys coming in or something.
Like, there's a problem in the neighborhood. We got to solve it. Okay.
Just as a side note, the Lethal Weapon reboot that they did for TV, not as terrible as you might think.
Yeah, have you watched it?
Yeah. I made myself watch it because I thought it was going to be horrible, and there was like new shows coming out, and I wanted to watch some stuff, for the podcast. And I've said this before, but those who are looking for something Lethal Weapon-ish, the show's not bad.
Yeah. Well, there it is. So you can check out the television series of that. All right, a couple more things here. I did want to bring this up because this actually sounds really fascinating to me. And if you are a fan of American Gangster, if you don't know what American Gangster is, a movie about Frank Lucas starring Denzel Washington. Frank Lucas was a notorious gangster, excuse me, back in the 70s and 80s in New York. Brought a lot of heroin in to the city. I mean, I'm not saying he was a good guy, but he was a notorious gangster.
It's such a good movie, though.
Great movie. And
it's just all on Denzel's shoulders.
Yeah, and he is, I mean, he's classic Denzel Washington in it. Like, there's just no better Denzel Washington. So
that and Training Day, I think they came out relatively close together, and you were just like, he hadn't done some stuff for a while, and you're just, oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like more Denzel Washington. It also stars Russell Crowe as well.
That's right.
But in the movie, I mean, and this is based on real life, Frank Lucas's kind of who trained him, the boss that he took over for after he died was a guy by the name of Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy Johnson is hardly even in the movie. But now there is going to be a prequel that is starring Forrest Whitaker as Bumpy Johnson. So you're going to get the story of Bumpy leading up to, I guess, right when he hands it off to Frank Lucas.
Yeah, and they're saying 5 years before the movie. So the question is Denzel going to show up at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm sorry. Is Denzel going to show up?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not confirming yes or no. That is the question.
Yes, as in yes, that is the question.
I agree. Yeah. That is a question.
Well, and you never know because a lot of times these guys produce this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so if they're producing it, they make a bunch of money on the back end. So they might show their face on screen just to give it some love.
That would be cool.
Bryan Cranston has done that before on a few things.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there we go. So we'll see.
Bryan Cranston's. I don't know if he's a Denzel. I mean, I love Bryan Cranston, but
yeah.
He's maybe not the star power of a Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, Denzel gets a single name. We have been using a single name.
That's true. Yeah.
There's Madonna, there's Cher.
And then there's Denzel. Yeah, I mean, that's really sums it up. Well, that's exciting. So it's going to take place 5 years before American Gangster. It's not set to a service yet, so the word is they're going to pitch it to Netflix and Hulu and Amazon.
And that's what we're talking about is like where this gets produced, which house gets it, is going to determine how great it is. If it's on CBS, I don't know. If it's on FX, if it's on Hulu, it could be really good.
I don't even think they could do it on FX. Like, you have to go full gangster for this thing, I think.
kind of does.
I mean, FX maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think FX is one of the few broadcast studios.
But how could you cut out the language, though?
They don't have to. I mean, it's FX.
But there's still...
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah. I just see... I think it would make it... I don't know.
Netflix or Hulu or Amazon.
Yeah, they'd probably be the best, but we'll see what happens. All right, finally here.
Maybe it'll be on All Access.
Ooh, that could be. All right, finally, I did want to talk about a series that is on Netflix right now that you can watch that I'm recommending you watch this weekend with a couple of caveats. So
you can't watch it this weekend. You're going to be watching Stranger Things.
You'll be watching Stranger Things. That's true. Well, when you're not, as you said, you're only going to watch 3 episodes. In between. You got to switch it up. So Mindhunter is out right now, and if you don't know what it is, I know you probably heard the name, but I feel like a lot of people don't really understand what it is. And the movie tells the origin stories of the FBI when they were first trying to figure out what serial killers were. Because up until that point, you knew you had these psychopaths. They thought people were just born that way, and that's just what happened, and this is what...
Wasn't a term, didn't understand it was pathological, didn't understand they had urges that they were trying to, abate.
Yeah, they knew nothing about it, and this is the story of these FBI agents who started putting the pieces together and figuring out, well, what are the common traits? Well, what are they doing? Is there a way that we can predict this or figure out who's going to become a serial killer or identify the problems in them? And so this series follows these two as they go around the country interviewing serial killers.
Yeah.
And it's the things I want to say.
So it's kind of like a buddy thing, like they're on the road. Okay.
They're on the road a lot.
So I didn't know about that part.
Yeah, they're on the road a lot together. There's also Anna Torv stars in it. She was in Fringe, if you watch Fringe. And as they go through, they interview these different serial killers, and they have these actors who, if you look it up, look a lot like the serial killers. They did some really good casting on it. Wow. I mean, it's unnerving. And the content is rough because everything they're talking about is true. And I also looked it up as soon as I'm
they took real serial killers? Oh, man.
Real serial killers.
That's messed up.
Real ones and the real things that they did. And they're very graphic in describing it, very graphic in saying what happened. So it's not for the faint of heart.
It's a family show.
The one thing I'll say that's a little bit weird and it takes some getting used to because I don't really understand it is they also have the guys in their normal lives when they're not interviewing serial killers. And you'll go from these things where you'll have, serial killers being interviewed, and then it'll cut to really graphic sex scenes where they're with their significant others. And you're like, that's jarring.
That's not a good mix.
That's a jarring mix.
I hate that. I hate the mix with the evil, dark horror with the sex. It's always you're trying to compile this in my brain so they stick together.
Yeah, but it's just unnecessarily graphic.
All right.
All right.
That is strange.
This is very weird. You've just talked about a hideous murder, and now
I still want to watch it though.
It is. It's still great, but
that's not. I wish that wasn't actually there. But yeah,
I feel like I wish I would have known. The only reason I'm telling you is I feel like I wish I would have known.
Be warned.
That, yeah, before I went into it,
right?
Because it kind of threw me off the first episode. I'm like, no, I don't know if I like this. But once you get used to it, then it's like, okay, well, here's this part again.
It's kind of like the first Black Mirror episode, which I won't spoil for anybody.
Yeah.
But once you watch that, you're like, are they all going to be like this?
Yeah.
They aren't.
Right.
It's a tough way to get in. It's like sorting out the people that aren't going to be big fans from the start.
It really is. Well, excuse me, my voice is going out there, but and my computer just went out, so I can't even see the comments right now. I'm just going to say that honestly. Whoever's watching, I want to say thank you to everybody tuning in to Between the Streams. Again, this is our show every week here, where we talk about movies and entertainment live every Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific. And so, your favorite Halloween episode ever? What was your final decision?
It's a tough one, man.
Yeah,
I'll go with the classic. I'll go with Korn's Groovy Pirate Mystery.
Korn's Groovy Pirate Mystery.
Because South Park is probably one of my favorite shows of all time, if not the favorite.
That one is pretty great. I'll probably go Treehouse of Horror, all of them. Yeah, make your choice. There's so many weird things behind the scenes
Halloween,
that happen
man.
in Digital Trends.
They're going for it.
So let us know what your favorite one is, though. And again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We also have this as an audio podcast that you can check out on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you subscribe and download that so you can have it for the weekend. Enjoy Stranger Things too. And let us know what your favorite Halloween episodes are. You can leave those in the comments. Send an email, podcast@digitaltrends.com. And I think that's about it for this show.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Absolutely. We'll be back next week with another episode.